This chin spoiler project is simple and fairly cheap in comparison to, say, a DGM carbon spoiler or one made from Duraflex. It's durable and easy to make. All you need is 3 DX or LX door trim pieces, an 8-foot corner guard protector from TRIMACO, and some sheet metal screws. Make sure you get the left and right front door trim pieces. The third can be any rear door trim piece. The reason for this is because the ends of the door trim pieces will align with the edge of the fender and bumper and help give the spoiler that manufactured look. This will make it look and seem as if it was almost a factory option. The third trim piece serves as a little extra to fill any gaps, as you will see later. To help keep the video short, I preformed and mounted the corner guard to the shape of the left side of the bumper. I'll demonstrate how it's to be done on the right. The first thing I did was mark small dots 10 mm back from the edge of the bumper. I then drew a line to connect the dots, forming a 10 mm recessed line all the way across the bumper. The line is 10 mm back because the trim pieces are 10 mm thick, and I wanted a spoiler that would sit flush against the bottom edge of the bumper. This will ensure the spoiler will look as if it fits and belongs on the car.
You want to make this connect all your dots, making one long line, and then you're going to take the plastic 90-degree piece and bend it utilizing heat along the curvature of the bumper. This is just going to provide support for the rear, or actually provide support for the the door trim piece. And once the double-sided tape is stuck to this side, this is all that'll be holding it. All right, so looking from the bottom, you can see that I'm just going to be following this line here. I'm going to show you. You just take a low heat, your standard heat gun like this, and low heat. You're just going to apply some heat here, back and forth. Don't leave the gun on the plastic too much because this is vinyl, and it heats up very rapidly, and it'll start to bend very rapidly. So all you want to do is make it soft enough, malleable enough to bend it into the shape of the bumper. Back and forth, nice strokes like that, and it's pretty soft already, and that's about where we want it. Okay, then you're going to take some screws and just kind of mount them in, and make sure that the lines, the edge of the plastic sticks with the line that you drew on the bumper. Just like that. And you're going to continue this all the way around the edge, and this, like I said before, this being the most difficult part, you will have to cut some reliefs in the plastic to relieve the bending pressure because it wants to buckle. So we'll cut a relief right there. Maybe make a triangle. Triangles work best. You want to relieve some of the tension off of the plastic. So when the plastic actually bends, that triangle will actually close kind of like a hinge on the door. Right there you can see crinkle. So you can pre-bend your plastic, and right where it buckles, just cut it. Just like that. Relieve the pressure, and if you want, you don't even have to use heat. I use the heat to keep the line uniform, but at this point you can actually just put it on. But let's use a little heat anyway. Right where it needs to bend. All right. And one more screw here.
To cut the plastic quickly, I use a right angle die grinder with a carbon cutoff wheel. It's not necessary to use this, it just makes it quicker. Another method of cutting the plastic would be to use razor blades. You can use the razor blades to score the plastic enough times so it becomes weak enough to break off.
All right, so the next thing you want to do, once you've got everything bolted up and shaped and formed to the shape desired, and particularly for this car, you can just use like an alcohol-based cleaner or anything that will do good in removing silicone, grease, or anything like that, or any kind of mold release agents. And you just want to take this and make sure this plastic is nice and clean, because your spoiler is going to be adhered to this utilizing the double-sided sticky tape that comes on the back side of it. And so basically you just want to get a nice clean surface for the double-sided tape to stick to. My aim is to not have a seam going along the top edge to make it look like it actually belongs on the car. So by doing that, now right here in this seam, I'm gonna apply a little bit of low heat right along this trim piece. Man, that looks damn good, and I haven't even finished yet. I gotta tell you, this looks really nice sitting against this bumper. I don't know if you guys can, let's get back a shot of that. Wow. That looks pretty damn cool. You can see a little bit of light coming through right there. I don't like that. Perhaps I can kind of adjust the plastic to the correct shape and whatnot. But man, that looks good. That looks good. So you can see the trim piece is just a little on the big side, but that's the good part because it can be actually just trimmed. All right, so the final piece, we've got it all trimmed up to the proper size, as you can see. Problem is, right in here, since this piece has been sort of concave bent to the curvature of the bumper, this piece is nice and flat. I'm gonna have to take the heat gun and kind of add a little bit of a curvature to it so it'll fit properly. This is very simple. All you're gonna have to do is, now since this is some relatively thick plastic or vinyl, I'm gonna use high heat. You don't wanna put it right too close. You just wanna have it at a distance and just kind of wave it like this. Once you get it to heat up, you just wanna make just a little bit of a shape like that, like so. Then peel away the tape. And then install the piece. You know, since this looks so good, I think that I'll leave it the same. Rather than doing body work and adding body filler and whatnot, I think I'll just go ahead and leave it the way it is. Much easier on the person who wants to do this little install. It's purely optional. If you want to use body filler on these parts here, that's fine, but you don't have to. And it kind of looks like there's a little access panel here from, I don't know, maybe a tow hook or something. If you get it really nice and tight the way I got it there, you can barely see it. I don't know if the camera will focus in on it or not, but I think I'm just gonna leave it that way. It looks good. What I've done here, I drilled some holes in the backside of the plastic piece, and I filled it with glue. This is a piece of trimmed off side strip, and as you can see, the side of it has like a cupped shape in the center, and if it's against a flat backing, it leaves an open area inside. You can see I just drilled some holes in the back in the back piece of this plastic, and used the hot glue gun to just inject some glue, some heavy duty glue in there. That'll help, along with the double-sided tape, to keep the spoiler in place, and I'm going to show you how it's done. I think that's a pretty smart way to help adhere your trim pieces to this plastic. And so you just take the drill bit. Put a small hole. And then you're going to take a step bit. Such as this one. And then you're going to just drill into that, make the hole a little bit bigger. Kind of dig out some of the plastic that you've been drilling away at. All right, leave a nice opening. Inject. You can see that it's filling up nice and with some nice glue. The more you inject, the better. Okay, and then to close the hole, just simply fill it up with glue.
Here you can see just how well this spoiler sits flush against the bumper, giving that manufactured look. It actually seems as if it could have been an option from the factory. If you like what you see, consider subscribing to the channel and click the like button. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.